think that'd be my advice for people who are sort of struggling to find their way, find their career path, is just like take advantage of where you're at and find some valuable lesson or something that you can take with you. I was never one to really look too far ahead. I found that if I got too ahead of myself, it was really scary and intimidating. And I think to help me stay on track, I just needed to focus on what was right in front of me.
You're listening to the Almost 30 podcast, a lifestyle podcast hosted by Krista Williams and Lindsey Simsick.
Tune in for a new episode every Tuesday to hear our honest conversations about topics like wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and self-development with guests who are really smart, really inspirational,
and really fucking funny. It's real, it's raw, and it's unfiltered.
Inspired by our transition from our 20s to our 30s, we realized it's so much more than that. Our mission is to provide you with the tools, guidance, and motivation to help you navigate any transitions in your life and propel your personal growth.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Almost 30 podcast.
Here we go. Oh, is someone at my door? Or is it my neighbor?
What the fuck? Honestly, though, what is that? Oh my God, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It was a giant hat. It was like a woman with the biggest hat on. She just left something at your front door. It was the biggest.
Oh my God, it's Madeline.
Your friend Madeline?
Yeah.
Why didn't she knock?
Because she said she was just going to leave it.
Oh my God, it was her little body and her big old hat.
Oh my God, I love her.
That was the biggest hat I've ever seen.
She inspires me because she literally does not put an ounce, a piece of her skin in the sun, ever.
I'm obsessed with that.
I know you are.
I need to get a hat like that. What was at the door?
I don't know.
Wow.
She said
what do you think it is? Cookies? I'm going to get it.
I don't. Oh God. Probably not. All right. We're live here on unpackaging Just Ice. There's probably something that needs
Lindsey
to be
is a
iced.
neighbor that has a Tory Burch shoebox outside of her door for 18 years because
she's the best.
She thinks Tory Burch is so fucking cool that she has to have a Tory Burch shoebox outside of her door.
I think she's dead.
It's been there for years. It's like, okay, honey, we get it. You've got your little ballet flats on. Got it.
How well does Madeline? I know. Oh God, they're not going to be here before we end today.
Lindsey is sick. Can you do this with your voice?
Hello. I'm scared.
Can you do that? I asked Justin the other day. I was like, can you do this with your voice?
Hello.
And he's like, you've asked me that once a year for 5 years. I can't do that with my voice. He's like, you literally ask me that once a year and I can't do it.
Around this time every
summer. Every summer I ask if you can do it. You know who can do it? Anna Faris.
Oh my God, totally.
Yeah, she's really good
in
at
the
it.
scary movies.
Yeah. Why the ice?
To keep that cold. That was so sweet. There's so much ice.
So nice.
I love her.
I've never seen so much ice.
She's so sweet.
What a doll. Lindsey literally is sick for 2 days and has like 100 people send her packages.
It's true.
Crazy.
It's actually
you got flowers.
Creepy.
No one gives a shit about me.
Not creepy at all, but like it's like blows my mind that I have so many. I don't even know.
So many lovers.
Truly.
You take on.
I've gotten soup. I've gotten bath salts. I've gotten smoothies. I've gotten
actually, guys, want to know
crisps.
Hey, for all my ladies and fellas that are working from home, a great way that I've found to take a break at home and kind of like feel like I'm different after the end of the day is to take a Epsom salt bath.
Yeah, I'm so true.
So at the end of the day at 5:30, 5 whatever, I start drawing the bath. I get really nice warm water and then I put so much Epsom salt in it. I just get my Epsom salt
last night
from Amazon. And I take, and it like helps to like remove all the negative energy. Your skin absorbs the magnesium. So it's a great way for your body to relax, to rejuvenate. I do it in silence or I listen to 432 hertz music. And it kind of changes my perspective from work into relaxation for the night. So that's a great way to do it. I freaking love that. I put on my stories, I was like, how do you guys like turn off? Because I feel like lately I just keep getting pulled back to the computer. Like I just keep finding things to do or things to respond to or whatever for the tour. And this girl DM'd me. She's like, I put my computer in the trunk of my car. Isn't that fucking amazing?
Oh my God.
She's like, no, literally she's like, I actually do that. At the end of the day, I'll put my computer in the trunk of my car because I don't want to get on it.
I mean, that's genius.
I love that. I was like, you're the best. That made me laugh so hard. I love that.
I shut my computer down. I literally shut it down. Because it takes a while to like boot back up. So I'm like, it's too long.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and then I'll look at my phone and be like, I should turn on my computer again. So I just like keep going back to it. It's like so fucking annoying.
Yeah, you got to practice that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. What am I going to do?
But like, but things get done. You have to balance out with your self-care that you're doing, time with Justin, all those things.
Yeah.
You know, we all do.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I clearly wasn't taking care of myself as I should.
I don't know if that's it, but yeah.
I mean, I could have been just chilling a little bit more, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a virus though.
It's a what?
It's a virus though.
Yeah.
So you picked it up.
But I was weak enough to get it.
That's true. That's true.
I was weak.
You were weak. Weakness.
Is that a segue? No. Well, we had the pleasure.
Yeah. Let me tell you about my favorite deodorant. So
yeah, literally.
I've been using Schmidt's Naturals for a couple months now. I use their charcoal magnesium natural deodorant. I like it because of the texture. So the consistency is really nice. It's like in a normal deodorant container. It goes on really nicely. It stays on. The smell is bomb. It works. I've used a lot. Some are too gooey. Some are too wet. Some just don't have the consistency that I like. So I've been using Schmidt's for a long time. I like the smells that they have. So when we connected with them and the team, Allie and all the girls at Schmidt's Naturals.
Point to me every time you want to say it and I'll say it.
Yeah. I was really excited. They're listeners. They're lovers of the pod. So they hooked us up with Jamie. They hooked us up with some amazing product. They're one of our sponsors now. So you can get the natural deodorant. You can get their amazing toothpaste, which I use their toothpaste all the time. They have cool flavors like coconut lime. The charcoal is really good. So basically,
I love the charcoal.
It's bomb. It's the spot for all your natural products. So we were introduced to the brand. We're users of the brand. And then we got to meet Jamie. Yeah.
Jamie is one of those like from the ground up entrepreneurs that like is kind of like shows us her blueprint. And we're like, oh, okay, it can be done.
She's making me laugh too.
She's so funny.
Man. I loved hanging out with her.
She was like under the radar funny.
She's under the radar funny, man.
She'd say something where you're like,
dude, yeah. I was just like, because she's sweet, because she's so sweet and kind. So sometimes, when people are sweet and kind, you're like, you don't expect it. And then she would just make me laugh. But I mean, she's a baller. Like she's so cool. She was really raw and open. And I really loved how she was talking about how she never knew her path. And for a long time, she really didn't know what she was doing. She never felt like she understood why she was in the job she was in. And she really just followed her heart to Portland and then started Schmidt's and then grew it from there. And now, I mean, look at her.
It's major. It's changed her entire life. It's changed the lives of so many people all over the world because of the option to go natural with these everyday products. So many people are realizing that the products they're using are toxic and poisonous to their bodies. So it's really good that they have this option. So yeah.
And I really like how, Schmidt's just got bought by Unilever, which is really exciting for Jamie. Congratulations. We're so happy for her. And I really loved the way that she talked about that and really, and I am completely aligned that these natural products, we want to get them in the hands of as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So to do that, to allow most Americans or consumers have access to these products, partnering with a company like that makes perfect sense so that you can get them into more stores, you can have more distribution centers, et cetera. So I really liked that thought process behind it. And I'm really excited for you guys to try Schmidt's. It's the best. So almost 30 is the code. Get a discount.
Yeah. So enjoy this episode. Make sure you join our secret Facebook group if you haven't already. Tell your friends to join. We're growing this community.
Yeah.
And we're going on tour. So find us on the road.
Yeah.
We are going to be in San Francisco mid-June. We are going to be in Boston and New York in July. We have a new LA event end of July. All of this is on our website, so you can check it out. We are going to be in Dallas and Austin in September. So we're
the
adding
Soho House this summer in LA.
Yeah, so many things going on. So I know it can be confusing. So just check our website.
Yeah.
Everything's there. All right, guys, we love you. Enjoy this episode.
Enjoy.
This episode is brought to you by Woo for Play.
Woo for Play is our very favorite natural coconut base lube. So in this episode with Jaime Schmidt, we get all into natural beauty, clean living, and an important part of clean living is having a natural lubricant.
Yeah, we need to be thinking about everything that we put on and in our bodies. And just because it's down there doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. I would argue to say that it matters possibly the most. Mm-hmm. So we have been using Woo for Play, not together.
Yes. I was gonna
no jokes here. No jokes
I use
allowed.
it and I just eat it.
Honestly, it's so delicious.
You guys, it tastes delicious.
It has stevia and it has vanilla. It has, it's obviously coconut based. It has beeswax. It has all the things and it's so delicious. So don't mind rubbing it places and licking it off. You know what I mean?
Ladies, if you want to please your man, get Woo for Play.
If you want to please yourself, get Woo for Play.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoever you want to please, you get Woo for Play. We just love this brand. And the packaging is so sleek. So it's not something weird to have in your bedside table or on your bedside table. Some packaging is just fucking bad.
So real whack.
Real
Yeah,
whack.
it just looks like a lotion.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
So we love them. You can go to wooforplay.com, wooforplay.com, and you can use our code ALMOST30, ALMOST30 for 10% off your first purchase. So head on over, tell us what you think. We want to know all about it. Join our secret Facebook group. Let's talk about it. This episode is also brought to you by
Cauliflower Foods. I have been making these amazing breakfast pizza.
So smart.
Throw with me in my car if I'm ever driving somewhere or going to work or something like that. But I'll take my cauliflower crust and then I'll put tofu that I season with turmeric and spices, put that on top, and then some red peppers and onions. It's so bomb.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the plant-based one. It's so
Yeah, me
good.
too.
It's so simple. There's 4 ingredients in the crusts. I mean, I don't really want to have to worry about what is the filler. So Trader Joe's, for example, has a cauliflower crust and it's just full of cornmeal and all this stuff. And it also has a fuck ton of carbs comparatively. This one only has 6 net carbs. Trader Joe's has 106, something like that.
It's almost like you can't compare.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But these ingredients are super fresh. You can trust this brand and they come in different flavors. So there's Italian, there's red pepper, there's jalapeno, there's the plant-based one if you're a vegan. And we just adore this brand. So when you order, it comes with this metal pan. So you can put it in the oven and when you bake it, it gets really nice and crispy. And Krista also makes them cold too.
Mm-hmm. I like to have it cold. Well, I cook it and then I put it in the fridge.
Yeah, totally.
And just have it cold. But yeah. I mean, either way, and I don't feel bad eating a whole one. So if Justin orders pizza at night, I can have half of a pizza if it's covered in vegetables, maybe marinara, pesto, whatever you want on it. And it just is so nutritious and satisfying. I am so glad that they're a sponsor of our podcast.
Yeah, they're the best. So for our listeners, you can get 10% off a purchase of $50 or more when you use our code ALMOST30, ALMOST30. So that's 10% off an order of $50 or more. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Where'd you grow up in the Midwest?
Michigan.
Oh, where in Michigan?
Yeah. The east side of the state called Frankenmuth. It's a little German tourist town.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. People have either heard of it and been there and love it, or they're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Cincinnati.
Place. Oh, cool.
I've been to
Not
Michigan
too
a
far.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Not too far. We had a house in Walloon Lake.
Oh, nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's maybe a 6-hour drive.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's a little, that's so funny. Michigan's the best. It's very Midwest.
I know.
People are so nice.
My parents are still there, so
They
I get to visit
are.
a lot. Yeah.
In the same German town?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Was there German settlers and there's kind of just a
Yeah,
German
it was
vibe?
founded by some German people. I don't know the whole history of it, but if you call 1-800-FUN-TOWN, you'll reach our city.
I would think
comes
that
over the loudspeakers in the town. They're like, you're getting a call.
Right.
Yeah.
I would think that would be like porn.
Well, I know, right?
Honestly, 100
Oh my
Fun
God,
Town?
you're right. That's so
Honey,
funny.
that's like porn.
But there's billboards
let's
all
go to
over the
Fun
highway.
Town.
Yeah.
Welcome,
So
Jamie.
true.
This is how we roll.
So in Michigan, like growing up, were you always interested in kind of like natural products, like, or was it like the Portland thing that kind of like jump-started
it was more
everything?
Portland. I mean, growing up, it was that was a mystery to me, and we just bought whatever products were on sale, and didn't really think twice about it. But we didn't have options. We just shop at the local grocery store and call it a day.
So how'd you get interested in it?
Yeah, are we on? Are we recording?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, girl.
Is this the real deal?
Yeah.
I mean, just being in Portland, it was the maker movement back in 2010. I mean, everybody was doing something, right? Like whether they were in a band or maybe they were making a product for a farmer's market. Like there were a lot of people making hot sauces or candles or whatnot. And so it was sort of my quest to find myself and kind of explore that creative side. I just wanted to kind of fit in, just feel like I was doing my cool thing, because otherwise I just kind of felt left out.
Love that.
Yeah. And so body care products is really where I found my niche and got a quickly gained a reputation around the city for, being that person making these really cool products by hand.
Wow. And you were working at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you working at the facility?
Yes. So
okay.
like the residential facility, it was a hobby. I mean, I definitely had no plans at that time to like go all in on a business. Like I didn't know what it really meant for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely sort of satisfied an itch, outside of the normal career path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had so many jobs. I was always trying to find myself. I have a degree in business. I have a master's in sociology and had tried all sorts of different things. And actually, when I started working with the kids that had, the mental and behavioral health issues, that was more of an attempt to sort of change my direction and do something more meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
So found my true meaning with Schmidt's, though. I mean, making products for people, and changing their lives by offering something healthy and effective has been so rewarding. It's definitely the right path for me.
Yeah. So you were in Michigan. Did you go to college in Michigan?
Yeah. I got my undergrad from Michigan State. It was a Big Ten school, so it was definitely like that whole, party scene with frat and sororities. And,
What, you're in a sorority?
No.
There you go.
I definitely was like, I was doubting even being there for a while. I was like, I don't know if I fit in here. Because being on campus, the first question people will ask you too is like, what's your major? And it's like this defining thing of like, oh, I'm going to school for this or that. But for me, I didn't know, and like that question was intimidating and annoying.
Well, no one goes to college and is like, well, I want to be like an account manager at like a tech,
right?
Like firm which does data processing for Fortune 100 companies. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you like are never in the job that you like go, not unless you're a doctor for the most part, doctor, lawyer. Like I guess you go into business, but that's general business, but it applies to so much that no one really knows.
Right. Yeah. Seemed like everybody had it figured out though. And I was, kind of faking it.
I mean, same. I didn't have it figured out.
Yeah.
Or I thought I had it figured out, and then things just like completely went the other way, and you're like, okay.
It's something about that scene, I think, at those Big Ten universities. It's like all about, the education. And I think
sports, right?
Yes. Huge sports scene and, tailgating parties and all that.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're so young. Like when you, right after high school,
So
just jump into college and try to, know what you're doing. It's ridiculous.
I liked college, but not really.
Yeah.
I
Where'd
think
you
about
go?
it now. I went to Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
And I just was kind of depressed a lot. You don't really do anything. Like you have class, but it's like 10 hours, 12 hours a week, maybe 15, 20. I guess 20 is a lot. And then you should be studying. But I don't know. I didn't find many people that were loving what they were studying, or you were given the opportunity to study that you really loved. I had to take like languages. I had to take like all this bullshit stuff that I'm like, I don't want to do that, or I'm not interested in that, but I'm forced to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And then
I
in
wore my
Gray, Ohio.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The Midwest had a different kind of feel.
Yeah.
But I would wear my headphones in class just to like prove some point or something.
To be like,
I was too cool to learn. Isn't that funny?
And they're like,
damn.
They're like, hey, Jamie, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm listening to a great podcast.
It was those huge classrooms. Though.
I love that
like,
your type A let you do that.
I know. Well, I was fighting the type A back then. Yeah.
Fuck.
I've embraced it now.
No one said anything to you?
Well, it was those huge classrooms and the professors couldn't even really see what was happening.
What were you listening to?
I am probably hip hop.
Yeah. Oh my God. You
Like
guys.
who?
What?
Oh my, all of it. I was, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like who?
I can name drop.
Yeah, please do.
All right, let's see. I was in school. I went to college in 1996 through 2000. So who was I listening to back then? Probably just
Nas.
the whole Dre. Nas, yes. I remember bumping Nas in the room. We had we had all these hip hop posters in our dorm room too. And a lot of black light posters. And then we would fill 40-ounce beer bottles with highlighter water. Have you heard of this?
Wait, no, tell me everything.
So you take an empty 40 and you fill it with water, and then you drop like the tip of a highlighter in it, and it'll like make highlighter water, and then it glows with black lights.
And then you drink it?
You don't drink it, but it's like you could. No, because
like,
it's just
it
water.
makes you younger? What?
Yeah, literally.
Like,
But it was like it would look cool with the black light. Cool. So it was like a black light poster, but you had like the black light 40 bottles.
Cool.
Yeah,
and you
so
listen
funny.
to hip hop.
Wait, can we get Nas like using Schmidt's
Right?
Naturals?
All
Like
right.
that would take, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know. He
Can we
might already use
cross-
it.
Yeah. When I see like, where was I? I was in New Orleans, and I went to some vegan restaurants, and seeing like the diversity of people at vegan restaurants warms my heart.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's awesome.
dude, like makes me fucking happy that, different types of people, not just like, certain types of like people are eating vegan restaurants or open to it is like so amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a newer thing too, right? Like 5 years ago, that wouldn't be the trend.
Yeah, the clean
Yeah.
and everything.
It's still making its way. I think, like going back to where I grew up again in this tiny town in Michigan. Like, not easy to find a vegan restaurant, but an option here and there on the menu maybe.
Did you feel sad in college? Like, did you ever feel like, and then when you're maybe moved to Portland, like feel lost because you didn't know what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if sad is the right word, but more just like, I don't know, kind of rebellious and just like refusing to figure it out. I was like, I don't, it doesn't matter. Like everybody else is on this path, but I just felt like I needed more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun. I mean, I did, definitely take advantage of the party scene and do all that. But sometimes my roommate and I would hang out with people off campus too, and we thought they were cooler because they
Totally. Dude, off
They're
campus.
like townies.
Yeah. Yeah. But then pretty quickly after I graduated from college, I moved to Chicago. Just to kind of a next step, towards something
Obviously,
bigger.
Michigan State, Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where'd you live in Chicago?
It was not Wicker Park. That was my favorite neighborhood, but it was Lincoln Square. It was Northwest. I was there about 5 years, and it was awesome. But that's a lonely city, I think. I don't know. It's hard to get around, and if you have a friend that lives across town, you don't really see them because it's like a huge commitment just to like cab over there or whatever. But again, it might have just been my place at that time.
And what were you doing for work?
I was working in human resources. So I got my degree in business because I kind of just chose something, and that's what my brother had done, and it made sense to go that route.
As you would.
Yeah. But I learned some things that actually were valuable to my business with Schmidt's. But yeah, so I got a degree in HR. I was working for the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation in Chicago, a pretty cool organization. So I felt good about, the business I was working for, so that helped. But there was always this like, this doesn't feel right. Yeah. And then the big move to Portland was sort of an attempt to help figure things out.
Was that just on your own will, or did something happen?
I had a partner at the time, and we had visited out here, and we both liked it, and we thought, let's just shake things up and move out there and see what happens. But again, I kind of like fell into that HR scene. I was working for Portland Public Schools. I didn't love the HR work, but I was always trying to find companies that I at least, felt, I guess proud to work for, the schools, the foundations and stuff. But then I kind of was like, screw this. I got to make a change, or I'm going to get too deep down this path. There's going to be like too late to turn back. And so then I quit and did all sorts of good stuff.
Like what?
I got a job working at a vegan hot dog shack. Late night hours in Portland. All the drunk people would go get their hot dogs. And
were you working just front desk?
No, I was cooking the dogs.
That's amazing. I'm just picturing
Cooking the
these like drunk
dogs.
people going in and not knowing they're getting vegan dogs.
Yeah, well, they had
100%.
Yeah. The vegan was a big piece of it, but they also had the real deal dogs.
Dude,
if you wanted those.
That's your tagline. From vegan dog cooker
Right.
to
Slinger.
XX millionaire.
Right?
Literally went from cooking vegan dogs to cashing out.
It's such a good story. And it was funny because the competition like for that job was fierce because everybody wanted like a service job in Portland. And so I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this job.
True.
Right? It was
In LA, it's for serving and bartending jobs.
Yeah, kind of similar. But the owner of the company liked me because I had what he considered a trustworthy background, and I had the business experience, and he just felt like I was, a strong candidate despite my lack of, food service background. But so I was pretty excited to get the job. And then but my schedule was crazy. I was working late hours and I would go to bed when the sun was coming up and stuff. It was a little odd.
Oh, do you smell like dogs?
Oh, yeah. Fries, dogs. Yeah.
Literally, this man owns a hot dog shop, and he gets a person with like a degree, years of experience at like the John D. MacArthur Foundation, and he's looking at resumes. He's like, okay, Subway, 2 years, college degree, making $75K.
Like he should have you run the company.
I know. He's like, I guess I'll go with you. You've got business experience. Like what?
Yeah, I was doing all the inventory, and I was counting jars of pickles and all that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I think I learned a few things.
He's like upgrade to inventory.
Yeah.
Of course. I honestly think I learned the most in the service industry.
Yeah.
Like waitressing, bartending. It was not cute, not pretty, not always fun, would go to bed when the sun came up.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned the most about people, about how to handle myself with anyone, how to, multitask,
yeah,
make money,
yes,
make
money
creatively.
Literally. Yeah.
My whole philosophy has always been find some kind of value in every job that you have, rather than just sit in there like pissed off. Why am I doing this? Just try to find something that you can take with you. It's easier said than done. And looking back on it, it's a lot easier than embracing that philosophy in the moment. But I think that'd be my advice for people who are sort of struggling to find their way, find their career path, is just like take advantage of where you're at and find some valuable lesson or something that you can take with you.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Then from the hot dog place.
Yeah, what was my lesson from the hot dog place?
Did you know it was a step in your path?
No.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was like a nice excuse to just step back, kind of take
in Portland,
it easy.
you could do that, right? Did you feel like you were able
and cost of living was cheaper back then in Portland too. So, and I had saved up a little bit of cash. But I only, I burned out from that pretty fast. I ended up taking a little trip cross country and sort of soul searching. And then when I, throughout my journey, I had this thought of, I don't know what I want to do, but I know that I want to do something a little more meaningful and just have some greater impact on society. And that's when I landed the job with the kids. And that was all right before Schmidt's.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then where'd you meet your husband?
At the residential facility.
Okay.
Yeah, he hired me. Yeah. So we learned a lot working together. And now we're working together with Schmidt's. And so it's crazy to think how far the two of us have come together.
Yeah.
How long has it been? How long have you been?
We've been together about 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah. We have an 8-year-old son.
Oh.
He's amazing.
What's his name?
Oliver.
Oliver's a good name.
Yeah, it
looks like an Oliver mom.
You knew I was going to say that?
Yeah.
Weird.
Really weird.
Maybe you've been stalking me.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. So did you, like, in terms of like your entrepreneurial spirit, like where do you think that came from? Because it feels like there has to have been a knowing somewhere, but you're like, I was soul searching, traveling, all of this. Like, did anything hit you, or did you get like a hit of inspiration or meet someone who you like was the
entrepreneurial spirit has always been there. And I think that's part of why I felt unsettled, is because I felt like I should be controlling what I was doing rather than working for somebody else. And I can think back, when I was a kid, even like at the lemonade stand that I would have in the summer, it was such an ordeal. I would make these flyers and my dad would print them out and I'd go distribute them to the homes in the neighborhood like a week before, and what kid does that for the lemonade stand? So things like that. And then we'd have garage sales.
Save the date.
Yeah, exactly. It was. We'd have garage sales at my grandma's house in northern Michigan. And I'd always have my little table and I was, making deals with the kids around the hood. Totally. And so I've always had a little bit of that in me. And I'm super competitive. Like, you might not think I have a pretty easy demeanor, but when it comes down to bring it on.
Damn, I cannot see. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have a brother. He's a few years older.
Okay. And so you started did you start making the deodorant first?
It was a mix.
Like, what did you start making first?
I started with shampoo rinses.
Oh, really?
Which is crazy. It was basically kind of like a liquid Castile soap, and then I'd add different herbs. And it was funny because I was literally adding like dried herbs. And so my husband would be washing his hair and he'd come out like with pieces of rosemary like stuck in his hair. He's like, "This is great, honey." Super sweet. And then like these vinegar rinses. So that was like super basic. But then I started like getting more into lotions and formulations and emulsifiers and stuff that were more complicated. The deodorant was one of my early products. And that was more just like my own personal goal to find something that worked. Natural deodorants have a reputation for being ineffective, and that was definitely my experience, is that they just sucked. And so I wanted to make one that I thought not only worked, but smelled good. I didn't want those ridiculous scents that were, everywhere in the conventional aisles.
I like the texture.
Yeah, you do.
Your guys.
Awesome.
I love the texture.
Cool.
It feels
So
like
good.
I just love the texture.
Yeah.
I feel it going on. I know it's there. I just think, I love the texture. I love the smell. It works. Like it is. I'm so thankful. I'm like so glad. I'm like, oh, great.
Cool.
Like I found something that.
Nice. How long have you been using it?
Probably like 3 months.
Cool.
Since the girls reached out, since Allie reached out. So it started with why the rinse? Like I'd love to talk, just to talk a little bit about like clean beauty, what kind of products and ingredients you use, why they're important, and like why clean beauty.
Well, I was pregnant at the time too, and I started, hearing all these horror stories about chemicals that are in your everyday products. And before that, I didn't pay as much attention. I mean, I always appreciated products, and was always trying to get the next big thing. But in terms of natural, like it didn't really come to me right away. But once I was pregnant, I was like, shit, like this, this is real. Like this stuff is absorbing into your bloodstream and could potentially harm your unborn baby. And so I decided to just try to make some of it. Not only the health piece, but I also thought it'd be really cool just to be like, I made this myself.
So Portland.
And it fits into that whole, like I said, the DIY, maker movement scene. That was my opportunity to do something that I thought was different and compelling.
We interrupt this episode to bring you a word from our sponsor, Schmidt's Naturals. I have been looking for a natural deodorant as well as a toothpaste that actually tastes good and is effective. And I found it. Jaime Schmidt, the founder of Schmidt's Naturals, is incredibly badass. She had a lifetime passion for innovative body care, and it motivated her to make products that would benefit her family's health. And knowing that the natural deodorant offerings on the market were falling short of consumer expectations, she made it her mission to change the way people think about deodorant and other products. I am in love with this brand. My favorite is the charcoal magnesium deodorant. It is super effective, smells amazing, but we are all about natural products. It's really important to us. And also, I mean, if you're willing to go a little outside of the box in the toothpaste department, this brand has a collection of toothpastes. One, the activated charcoal. Obviously, please get on the train with the activated charcoal. This one has Wonderment, which is so good. They also have a vanilla chai. They have a jasmine spearmint, a coconut lime. It is so good. And you can also get a multi-pack, so a 5-pack of all of those. So check it out, schmidtsnaturals.com, SCHMIDTS naturals.com, and you can use our code almost30 for 20% off your first order. Again, schmidtsnaturals.com, and you can use our code almost30 for 20% off. This episode is also brought to you by Vitruvi. I am diffusing my Italian sweet orange right now. I love a little citrus in the morning. It wakes me right up. I don't know what it is, but I just love it so much. So I'm diffusing in my bathroom, in my kitchen, everywhere. Vitruvi is an essential oil and diffuser brand, just really focused on creating you time for everyone. It was created out of a passion for botanicals and design. These bottles and diffusers are sleek and chic and all the things. You can easily place them in your home and they just look they're a part of the decor. These oils are really special. They're carefully sourced from over 30 countries and are all premium quality, as well as certified organic when possible. With oils like French lavender and, like I mentioned, the Italian sweet orange, you're getting the best in the world. And Vitruvi also believes that essential oils should not be so expensive. I mean, hello. And they don't want people to feel like these oils are so precious and they can't use them. And it's very, I don't know, it feels disconnected. But what's great about this company is that they're an online first company and they don't acquire traditional retail costs, which means they can sell premium. So 100% pure essential oil products go directly to you without the markups. Love that.
So yeah, we want you to try Vitruvi. Krista and I diffuse the shit out of oils in our apartments. And we also use them on our skin. So you can mix them with a cream or dilute it with water. But I love it so much. So you can use the code almost30 for 20% off your first order at vitruvi.com, vitruvi.com. Use the code almost30 for 20% off. So what are you using in your products that one is different than, like, I don't know the bases of like a regular, like, store-bought.
We know aluminum's
deodorant.
in it, right?
Yeah.
Why is aluminum in it and why is it bad?
Yeah. So antiperspirants are made with aluminum, and the purpose of that ingredient is to basically block your pores
And
to stop you from sweating.
Control us from different planets.
Yeah, right.
Aliens, right? Like, so the government can control us.
Through our armpit pores. No, it's true though, but they literally block you in your pores and stop you from sweating, which is kind of ridiculous and scary. And so our philosophy, which makes sense, is to let the body do its natural process and just sweat. But we use, these certain powders in there that'll help absorb the moisture once you do sweat. So you're not going to walk around all wet, but you're not polluting your body with this nastiness. And with Schmidt's, we've never used the scare tactics, right? Like we don't run around saying if you use antiperspirants, you're going to die and this and that. But there are enough studies out there that show that it is a potential health risk. And our thought is if you have two products and you know that one is safe and one is potentially harmful, like why not go with the one that, you can feel confident in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So is aluminum the only bad ingredient, or are there any
there's others. There's a lot of stuff, and a lot of deodorants. They'll have like parabens and phthalates, and these are all things that can disrupt your endocrine system and just.
So paraben,
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
That is a preservative. That
okay.
Yeah, and so Schmidt's has gone the avenue of more natural preservatives that actually work well in our formula because our formula doesn't have water, and water is one of those ingredients that can be tricky with trying to preserve your product because water is usually where all the bacteria and all that jazz happens. And that brings me to fillers too. So we don't use like water to, puff up our product. A lot of brands might use these unnecessary ingredients just to make the product cheaper and, give it substance, but everything in our deodorant actually serves a purpose. So, we have the oils and the waxes and the butters and the powders and everything in there is doing something valuable for your skin.
So parabens, and then what was the second thing?
Phthalates.
Phthalate.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's also
would those be listed as that on an ingredient label?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And you'll see like Schmidt's kind of, advertises that ours is made without that. And so our newer approach is to not only, talk about what's not in our products, but also what is in them. Like with our toothpaste, for example, we really...
Your toothpaste rocks.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We like to talk about all the added benefits. And like, I feel part of me feels like...
flavors are crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, they're good. What's your favorite?
I have like a jasmine chai or a jasmine one.
Nice.
The pink one.
The jasmine spearmint.
Jasmine spearmint.
It's so good.
And then there's like a chai one.
Yeah.
Like a vanilla chai.
Vanilla chai, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I want to try.
Dude, honestly.
Yeah. We'll get you some. But, adding these new products to our line was really just a response to our customers demanding more. I always thought Schmidt's was only going to be a deodorant brand. And I think in the early days of the business, that philosophy got me far, right? I want to do one thing and do it really well and not try to be everything. But then as we grew and got the customer confidence, it just made sense to add more because people wanted it. And so one day I was like, all right, let's do this. What do we want to add next? And the bar soap was our next product. And that was an easy extension for us because we were able to duplicate the scents that we use in our deodorant. So if you use like the rose vanilla deodorant, you can buy the rose vanilla soap. And it was just like a nice, logical extension for us. And then the toothpaste was a big one that kind of surprised people.
Yeah.
But they asked for it, so they got it.
What's in toothpaste? Oh, fluoride.
Yeah, so ours is not made with fluoride. Fluoride is one of those controversial ingredients.
Oh, yeah. It calcifies your pineal gland.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe the controversial thing.
Yeah, that is a piece of it. And it's crazy because Portland's the only city that doesn't have fluoride in their water. I think it's the only city in the U.S.
So they say, so this is the controversy. So your pineal gland is what is like your third eye. It's almost like a tiny pine cone, smaller than your fist. It's very small. It's like very small. And it looks like a pine cone. And, when the Egyptians or like other types of people had like an eye on their thing, or they have like they would have the pineal gland throughout history in different places because it's basically supposed to be the place where your intuition lies, where your gut lies, where you're able to connect with spirits or you're able to connect with different realms or different types of people. That's your pineal gland. It also regulates melatonin, so it's part of your hormone production. So fluoride is supposed to, that's like the controversy around it, which is in water. Cities and states put it in water, I guess, to make it cleaner or make it more easily to drink. And then they also put it in toothpaste at a high amount. And sometimes like Nestle puts it in a lot of their bottled water, but it calcifies your pineal gland so that your pineal gland isn't like as active. So they say that like as part of the, as part of the conspiracy theory, that the government is trying to control us by putting fluoride in our water and keeping us numb. To shut down our pineal gland.
And there's definite benefits to fluoride though, but we want our customers to have that choice, right?
Yeah.
And so we start with no fluoride. If enough people ask for it, it's something we would maybe consider. But I think if they want the fluoride, they can get it in other ways.
Yeah.
There's special treatments you can get at your dentist's office. There's special paste you can add onto your routine and stuff like
They
that.
clean it with your dentist's office too. They use fluoride to clean. Literally don't take what I'm saying for your life, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's all worth considering. Yeah.
What's the other controversy around fluoride? Do you know? Or was that it?
Yeah, I got to get back to you, but there's more for sure. And I haven't, to be honest, I haven't been anti-fluoride my whole life. I mean, I grew up going to the dentist, and that was part of the treatment. It was like the tray of bubblegum flavored fluoride, right? Where you could choose, right? Grape, bubblegum, strawberry, whatever.
I remember choosing
Strawberry.
Yeah, and up until Schmidt's, I was using it. I have to admit, like it was one of those choices that was, I'm not 100% clean, natural with everything because I can't be. No one can, right? And so fluoride was one of those things that I decided I'm not 100% against it. I'm just going to do it. But then when Schmidt's came, I fell in love with the flavors. And I understood that if that's something important to me, there are other ways to achieve it. And so, yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. And we polled our consumers too before we released the toothpaste. Do you want fluoride or do you not? And the majority didn't.
How do you
want
poll
it.
them?
We do a lot of surveys through Google or other sources that we use. And that's how we get a lot of our consumer insights, which helps direct our product development.
You know who does that too? The brand out of Australia. That's a clean face wash brand that we interviewed, Frank Body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of consumer polls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like their top consumers.
That's awesome. Yeah.
What's been the most challenging part about, trying to convince, I know there's already like, people ready and willing to try natural products, but like what's been the most challenging part just in your growth, like trying to grow it beyond that niche community?
I think just convincing people that the products are as effective as what they've been using, conventional brands are what we grew up with, and that's, what our parents were buying. And I think just getting people to try something new and to trust that it can work just as well, if not better, than these other brands. And I think that's where Schmidt's really fits into the industry, and our position in the market is that, we're available in the masses now, right? You can find us at Target, Walmart, Costco. And so, it's a challenge for us to prove that efficacy. And we've been successful at it. And pulling the mainstreamers over, not just that niche customer who had been looking for natural. We're reaching out to, people like my dad, a 70-year-old man in the Midwest, who wants something that's maybe a little safer, and he doesn't want to, stress the possible ill effects of the other brands. So,
would there be any detriment to working with a Costco and like on a bigger scale? Like, was that a hard decision? Or was it like, no, definitely, we want this
that's
to
a good
reach more
question.
people?
From day one, one of my goals was always to make Schmidt's as available to as many people as possible. And I know that's not the case with all, indie brands. A lot of people have their certain distribution networks that they want to stay within, and I completely respect that, and I think that's smart too. But for us, we wanted everybody to have fair access, and we wanted, the people in the Midwest, for example, who don't have other options readily available. We want them to be able to go into their local store and find it, and share that same access to healthy products that work. So we're not just in those bigger stores, though. We're still in the smaller mom and pops. We're also in the Whole Foods, all the natural grocery stores, and I think that's one thing that definitely makes us unique. It's not easy to find a brand that kind of spans across all the different distribution channels.
Was that always the case, or did you guys start in?
We started, pretty locally and small, kind of indie shops and co-ops, and that's just kind of a natural progression with any product. But it didn't take long before we got interest from some of the bigger natural grocery chains like Sprouts. Sprouts came on pretty early. Whole Foods, of course.
They reached out to you.
Sprouts was we had a broker at the time who helped us get that account, but it didn't take long before they saw like, okay, yeah, we have to do this. I mean, customers were coming into all these stores asking for Schmidt's. And so it's been a pretty easy sell for us. I think we've been really fortunate where we didn't have to have a really strong sales team going in and like working their asses off to sell the concept because customers were going in and asking for it.
Yeah.
And that's been true from the early days.
Wow.
Yeah.
We interrupt this episode to bring you a word from our sponsor, Four Sigmatic. Y'all,
We've had it on tour.
I have 3 cups in front of me right now.
that are
It's
full of
freaking
it.
me out.
We've been bringing it on tour. When I travel, I always bring the little
Yeah,
packs.
well, it makes me feel good. Period. The end.
Period. The end.
Like,
Well, I love it in the morning too. Like,
oh yeah.
whenever I travel, there's not access to good breakfast, and I don't replace it as a breakfast, but it wakes me up. It's warm, and it just gives me something to hold me over for like the next hour.
Four Sigmatic is using the magic of adaptogenic mushrooms to create these unreal elixirs, powders, and they're so easy to mix into water, nut milk, anything like that. You know, sometimes when you put powders in liquid and they like have these little balls of powder and they don't mix in. This is so easy. And they just came out with a charcoal lemonade with chaga. It's so freaking
I like chaga before
good.
I work. It helps me focus.
Totally. This is like a cold drink. So you mix it in with water and ice. It's fucking delicious.
I love loving the turmeric latte.
Oh my, I mean,
Everything.
obviously,
It's the best. Like I put it with cashew nut milk, and then I'll put a little monk fruit sweetener, or like a protein.
Oh yeah,
like a vanilla
collagen
protein.
or something.
Yeah, to make it frothy.
Yeah, totally.
It's bomb.
You know, we love them.
Yeah, we're excited to share Four Sigmatic with you.
foursigmatic.com/almost30. So FOURSIGMATIC.com/almost30 will get you 15% off your first order. So let us know if you want to make an order too. Like if you're wondering what you should get, you can totally reach out to us. We'll help you because I think first order you buy in bulk. It's like you can try a little bit of everything. They have some variety packs, which is great. So you can try a bunch of their elixirs, which I love. So you can try the lion's mane, the chaga, the cordyceps, the mushroom coffee, all of that. So try that out. foursigmatic.com/almost30 and you'll see 15% off at discount. Did you have like a moment of like intense growth? Did someone use your product
Yeah.
or
we've had a couple of things that helped, kind of push us forward. One of our early influencers who jumped on board was Alicia Silverstone.
Cute.
That happened within probably the second year of my business. And she just had gotten her hands on the product and loved it. And then there was an article in Us Weekly that, Schmidt's was her favorite deodorant. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, I love that.
That helped propel our online sales. We were getting a lot of website sales through that. I had a pretty early feature on Fox News of all places. It was the Carol Alt show when I got to talk about the dangers of conventional deodorants. So we got a huge response from that.
Really?
Like, bigger than I expected. We were not ready for it.
Wow.
We were pulling all-nighters.
Yeah, what happens when that? What do you do?
Yeah, it was funny because looking back on it, I should have known. I just didn't really think about it. I was like, we're going to be on TV, whatever.
I'd be like,
buying natural deodorant?
Yeah.
What
I'm like,
the
I think
hell?
we're going to get a lot of hate mail.
Yeah, right. But no, I mean, my phone, I didn't even have a business phone at the time. It was still my cell phone, and my phone was ringing off the hook. Like the minute it aired, the orders were just piling in, and we didn't even have the shipping system to handle it. We were using PayPal. And with PayPal, it's great for an order here and there, but when you have like mass orders, it takes like 3 minutes for each one to process. And so I'd process one and then it'd be like 5 new ones would pop up. I'm never getting ahead. But then I had a friend come by and he installed ShipStation. I feel like I'm like advertising ShipStation.
Yeah,
but that actually saved us. And so we were able to print bulk orders. And
Wow.
yeah, so that we learned a lot from that one. That was cool though. I mean, it took us a couple weeks to dig ourselves out, but that's kind of when Amazon all happened too. Like we had a lot of these big Amazon, sellers coming in.
Like as a seller.
Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, it's a great source of, revenue and exposure for us. But at the same time, it's like you have to ward off some of these sellers who are like lowballing you. And, you're throwing they're listing the product at such a low price that you're competing with yourself. And it can get a little bit messy, but it's been great for us. I mean, it's helped with some exposure. Some people only shop on Amazon. We're finding that's not as true anymore, especially with, younger shoppers. But it's definitely an outlet that, has worked for us and it's somewhere we need to be.
So what's the deal? Like you list on Amazon and then people could buy from you and relist it?
Yes and no. So we'll sell directly on Amazon. So we're working with Amazon where we send product and then they ship it on our behalf. But then there's other retailers who will buy bulk from us. Like let's say they have their own website, for example. Then they're going to also list it on Amazon. So we might not even always know that their intention is to like throw that product up on Amazon. And so, we put in measures to protect that and help, maintain consistency across the price points. But some slip through the cracks or maybe somebody will buy through a distributor that we don't know. So it just gets a little hard to manage.
Where are you producing the products?
Portland. So
Really?
Yeah. We also have our product development teams and our marketing team in downtown Portland.
Really?
Yeah, it's an awesome space. We have a Florida office as well where we have customer support and sales and accounting. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's Portland like?
Oh man. Yeah. It's so comfortable and I'm just so appreciative of it for allowing me to build a business there. I don't think I could have done it anywhere else. It's small, but it's big enough where you have access to like all sorts of people. It's a slower community. It's, I go to New York and I like have a panic attack. LA's nice. But yeah, Portland's it's a good pace. It's easy to get around. It's getting busier. It's definitely changed. I've been there about 10 years now and I've seen the city change quite a bit and it's getting a little harder to afford. It used to be the place where young people went to retire, or work at the hot dog shack or whatnot. But that's becoming harder to pull off and which I have mixed feelings on. It's, sad to see some of these people getting pushed out. But it's nice to see the city thriving and growing. So it's, it's a mixed bag.
Did you have to pitch to investors?
No, that was
part of your story.
That never happened. We so when Schmidt sold to Unilever, as you guys probably know, that happened in January. But several months preceding that, probably about 6 to 8 months before that, we had been getting a lot of interest from all different parties, and it was really just some of these bigger companies recognizing that Schmidt's was taking a huge chunk of the market share. And they, understood that they either had to continue to compete with us, if you think about the big CPG brands like Unilever, or they had to join forces with us and bring us on their team. And I think we've really filled in a hole or a void in a company like Unilever who needed that natural company to come in and really kind of disrupt things.
Completely. So were you being courted by others?
Okay. Yeah. It was a pretty intense time.
Yeah. Why Unilever?
We connected on a level where we really recognized that they wanted to keep our brand intact. Like their goal, their goal was not to come in and shake things up and say, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. They recognized the value that we had and knew that to change it wouldn't make sense. Our customer base loved Schmidt's for Schmidt's, and we wanted to, keep all those relationships intact. And they, made it clear that was a possibility with them. And so,
What have they helped you to do?
They've opened up, greater access to distribution networks. Also, supply chain has been huge. The consumer insights, just having that strong strategy behind us. I mean, we were getting by with so few employees, especially at upper management level. I mean, I was doing a lot of the work, and a couple of our managers were doing their thing, but having access now to people who have worked 20, 30 years in the industry doing this, it's been really refreshing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. What is your day-to-day now?
Yeah. So since the acquisition, I have stepped away from the really, strong operational piece. The day-to-day nitty-gritty stuff that I used to be bogged down with is off my plate. But I'm really supporting the brand on a higher level in terms of product development. So helping with that vision of, what products come next, what fragrances do we want to see, what ingredients are interesting. Also, the brand team, I work really close with them to help sort of define, the pathway for Schmidt's and, what is this, who are we now that we're, part of this big conglomerate, and how do we continue to stand out and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Did you ever, during your journey, have a business plan?
No, never. It's so funny looking back on it. And it worked for me. I was never one to really look too far ahead. It was sort of just what's going on today and what do I need to be prepared for, tomorrow or next week. But I found that if I got too ahead of myself, it was really scary and intimidating. And I think to help me stay on track, I just needed to focus on, what was right in front of me. And I think that's probably not the greatest business advice, but it's really what helped, me kind of on my journey. But no, when Schmidt started, there was no business plan. It was literally from farmers market to, you know, being sold in stores, and that just continued to grow. And
Did you ever think it would be like this?
no, but you know, once you're in it, you get so caught up in it, and you get one big success, and you're like, okay, what's next? You know, like I never really took the time to like even celebrate the small stuff because I was so ready to like see what other, you know, big thing was coming. But now that I look back on it, you know, it was a, you know, 8-year journey.
Dang, and 8 years.
8, like, yeah, I know it's long, but it's
and
short.
It just sold. So that was, wow.
So now that I look back, I'm like, what the hell just happened? Yeah. I mean, literally, it was like a blink of an eye in a way. And it's so fun to go back to those really early days and just see how everything has changed and how much I've grown as a person. And
how do you think you've grown?
Yeah, oh man. I think like just the fact that I'm like sitting here on this podcast and that I'm so interested in, you know, sharing my story.
That's number one.
Yeah, right. This podcast has been my dream from day one. Right? You know, but I mean, like now today, my goal is to really help inspire other people, you know, trying to start a company or find their calling. And that's where I'm really seeing my value. You know, aside from seeing Schmidt succeed, I think as a, you know, on my own personal path, you know, beyond the company, it's really just to like help inspire and to let people know, like, you know, don't give up on whatever it is that you're scheming. You know, it's a possibility. And so I think just that the confidence I've gained to, you know, kind of consider myself a role model has been pretty huge. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah. What have you learned in your relationship working with your husband?
Yeah, that we are meant to be together if we've made it through all this shit, right? Yeah, I mean, he's amazing, and he is super intelligent and incredibly supportive of me, and just, you know, always, you know, trying to boost me and keep me at the forefront of the brand, because he knows that that's what the customers want. You know, that's what they like to see is, you know, the founder and the story. And so he's been, you know, really great with that. He, just on a personal level too, like balancing all our family, you know, life is
totally
not easy, but I feel like we couldn't have done it any better than we did. Mm-hmm.
And does your son obviously uses the products, but is he like aware that like,
yeah,
this
so
is cool.
He's 8, you know, so he's not using deodorant, but he has strong opinions on fragrances, and you know, he loves our bar soaps and uses our toothpaste.
Yes.
Yeah, he asks tons of questions, and he has his own ideas for product development. And
what does he think?
Yeah, he had some good fragrances for deodorant. There were one he came up with recently was, you know, the smell of a pencil eraser.
Yeah,
it's like that. It's a good smell, especially when you're a kid.
I know what you
mean. He's like, I love this smell. I think you guys need to put it into a deodorant.
Excuse me. Is he sitting at the head of the freaking boardroom table? I am picturing it right now.
Damn pencil
cutie
eraser.
Oliver.
Yeah, he is a cutie too.
Oh my gosh.
No, he's funny.
But like, I feel like if you get hits like that, you should probably do it.
I know, right? He has a little book. He used to spend his free time in school like writing this little journal that we called his like product development book. And it probably only lasted a week, but I was like,
can't wait for my kid to have a product development.
I know. I was definitely encouraging it. Yeah, super cute. But it's so cool that he was able to witness the growth. You know,
I think it's the coolest thing.
I mean, the company started with him literally in my womb. And so at some of those, you know, early farmers market days, he would go with me and he'd, you know, be sitting in the playpen, and
it's like you're infusing him with your like
spirit. Yeah.
Like that entrepreneur,
it's part of it.
That go-getter. That is so cool.
Yeah.
What advice would you give for like female entrepreneurs right now in this climate? Like say they have their job, but they're starting a side business. What advice would you give?
I think there's a couple things. One is just, you know, stay in tune with your intuition and just don't always try to make sense of it, but just follow it. You know, but keep things sort of loose in the beginning. I think if you are going to go like, you know, the route of a product or a consumer packaged good, find something that you can do differently than what the competition's doing.
Yeah.
You know, with Schmidt's, when we started and other brands were seeing our success, a lot of them were trying to jump on board and do the exact same thing. And it's like, you know, we respect their, you know, motivation and
but also
drive, but also like, get the fuck out. No, but maybe do it a little differently. Like find something that makes yours unique, right?
Yes,
and like more power to you. So I think that's key is just finding your place in the market that, you know, you can be inspired by the competition and, you know, piggyback off of them a bit, but just like something specific to make yours.
Yeah. You need to do your own thing.
Yeah.
I love that. Don't try to make sense of it.
Right? The intuition
because I think
piece
that's how we spend most of our time.
Yeah.
Overthinking,
overthinking.
And second guessing. And it's like if your intuition isn't the right answer, then what is? Like there's no, you know, master spirit out there just like dictating your journey. It's like it is that intuition and
that is your master spirit.
Yeah.
Is your intuition.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And where exactly, just so our listeners are clear, where can they find all of your products?
Yeah. So our website is schmidtsnaturals.com. You'll find everything there. And then, following me personally, you can always find me on Instagram. And that's just Jaime Schmidt 22.
Love. Why 22?
22 is my number. It always has been. And Jaime Schmidt was taken. So I had to tag on the 22.
From her.
I gotta find who that is. Yes. Oh man. So no, I definitely follow the brand. The brand's all over Instagram and Facebook too. And then me, you can do a little sneak peek into my own personal stuff.
Yeah, I think that's always special.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Jaime Schmidt.
Yeah.
All right. What are you excited about this year?
Oh man, this year. Well, personally, my family's moving into a new house next week.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm excited to settle in, and yeah, that's super exciting. We've worked so fucking hard over the last 8 years, and it's just settling into something and
I feel so
getting
good for
back
you.
to my roots and what's important, right? And it's having time to cook and sit around and stare out the window. And so having, that I'm definitely looking forward to, and more opportunities to educate. I've been doing a lot of panels and interviews, and I got back from BeautyCon, from last weekend. That was awesome. And
great.
Yeah. So more of that stuff I'm always interested in.
Oh, that's so great.
So cool. Oh, I feel that for you.
Oh, thank you.
Spot. Yeah.
And then for Schmidt's, we have some amazing products.
Yeah, what's coming
in the works. There's I can't really talk about exactly what's coming, but this summer we have something fun. And there's more and more. There's
summer theme.
Our product roadmap is pretty impressive.
Cool.
So just keep your eyes on us.
The charcoal magnesium is the best. It's my favorite of the deodorants.
That's a popular one.
And then with our for our listeners, we have a discount code. So almost 30 gets you 20% off.
Nice.
Yeah. So the girls hooked it up. Thanks, Allie and team.
Yeah.
The best.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
So much fun.
Glad you made it with your Uber. All right, guys. We love you so much. We're excited for you to check out Schmidt's Naturals. We know you probably already know about them, but they are our go-to brand for deodorant and natural toothpaste and a few other things. So we love you. We're excited to share that with you, and we will see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Yet another badass entrepreneur.
Now, what a doll.
What a doll.
What a doll. We love Schmidt. So get your stuff. That's a brand I'm really happy that we're working with.
Same.
Because I really love their stuff.
I just sent my mom a box. Actually, she should have gotten it yesterday. I should call her. Of because we got a nice little package. So I gave her some of the deodorants and the toothpaste. They're so good.
Dude, the toothpaste is so good. I love that I have variety of flavors.
Same.
I'm kind of over just...
I used Tom's before, and
It's not like a...
I didn't know if it was working. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really enjoy.
And I just like the mix up of flavors. I'm like, jasmine chai?
I know.
I'm in. Literally, I'm in.
Fucking in. So you can visit schmidtsnaturals.com and you can use our code
Almost 30
for
15% off.
We practiced that 8 times before.
And then you could also get it at stores like Whole Foods and stuff like that. But buy it online so we can use a code. Sure.
All right, we love you guys. Obviously, as always, stay tuned. We are going on tour, and you can go to our website almost30podcast.com/tour and read all about it.
Can't wait to meet you in the flesh.
Yeah, love you guys. Have a great week.